Hey guys, today I have a video I've been planning for a while now. This is how to be sub 4 on pyraminx. So quickly about hardware, I would recommend using the Mr. M. It's my current main, and I currently average about 3.0. But you could either use this or any one of these pyraminxes listed here. Okay, so the first step is finger tricks, and right now I will go over all of the finger tricks I think you need to know in order to be sub 4, and this will be including normal moves and tips. So let's get started. These finger tricks may vary depending on how you have to solve the tips. For instance, right here, I have to do R and then an R prime tip. So I would do this, I would do the up R tip, and then the down R prime finger trick. Okay, so this next step is V efficiency. This isn't really something that can be taught. Really, the only thing I can say is learn how to block build. So instead of just trying to teach you, I'm just going to go through some V walkthrough solves. So let's get started. So I'm not going to be doing tips for these examples just because they don't matter that much when it comes to Vs. So the first thing I see on this V is this yellow-blue block right here. So I'm going to try and go for either yellow or blue. The first thing I see is yellow because this center is a 1 move away, and then I could bring this up in 1 move. Okay, there we go. So, but then if I look for blue, you can also see I can do that to build the V, and it gives me a nice case. I'd probably do that because it's better for finger tricks and it doesn't give a bad case. Okay, so for this solve, I'm not seeing anything too great. I see these blue centers that are all 1 move away from each other. I'm not sure if that's the best solution though. Okay, I see something. So what I could do here is I can build this block right here. I can build this blue-green block right here in 1 move. And then if I move this center down right here, I can just do R prime or L, U prime, L, R prime, and then it just gives me a sledge. So that would probably be like a high 1 or low 2. Okay, so for this solve, first thing I see is this block right here. That's 1 move away from being put into its correct place, and this center is already solved, so I'm probably going to work with that. I'm just going to check green. What I can do for green isn't the best, but I can back insert the edge, solve the center, and then solve the block. I don't think that's the best solution though. So I'm gonna go back looking at yellow. Yeah, so there's nothing too great with the edges on yellow, so I'm probably gonna do the green solution. So I would back insert this edge, so this edge pairs with its correct block right here by inserting just like that, and then I would just solve this and then solve those 2 centers, and then I get a decent L4E case. Okay, so for this 4th one, again, nothing too great. I see... Oh, actually, this is really nice. So this is a 4 move V. Now, this is a little difficult to see. It's more advanced, but eventually you get the hang of it. So what I actually see is I can actually build a pretty nice block by just inserting this edge paired to this one, and then this edge will go in its spot. So if I do L prime, U prime, L, it builds this block, and then it's just 1 move away. So that's a 4 move V, and then 4 flip. Okay, so this last one's pretty easy. what I would probably end up doing is be like this and then cancel into a sledge, because I'll solve this one, and then this one will cancel into a sledge, and it'll also solve this edge, and then it gives me another sledge. So that would probably be like a mid to high one. Okay, so all intuitive L4E is solving one edge. So for instance, I see this edge right here. You're gonna look at this edge right here and match it with the center it needs to go to. So building a block and then having it in the back, and then you're just left with an L3E. That's all intuitive L4E is. So I'm gonna go through some L4E walkthroughs. Okay, so for this case, this edge in this slot is yellow-blue, so I'm going to pair it with the yellow-blue center by inserting it to where it needs to go here, and I'm going to make sure these two colors are not the same, so that way I can insert it, and then I get a sledge, or a hedge. Here's another example. So if this edge is actually flipped, I'm going to pair one of the top edges. So here I see I can pair this edge right here with this center by doing that, and then I'm just left with that. So nice 6 mover. Okay, so for this one, the edge is red yellow, so I'd build the block with the yellow red center. So I would pair it like this. I would make sure these two aren't matching, and then I would build the block like that. And it'd probably be better to move it this way so you don't get a 2 flip. So you do that, and then you get a really nice case. Just like that. So for this case, there is a optimal way to do it that I use, but I'm just going to show you the beginner way. There's this edge right here. It's blue-red, so I'd pair it with the red-blue, just like that, and then you get this case. Okay, so for this one, I see this edge is blue-red, so I'd pair it with the red-blue, like that, break it, and then that. And then you just have a really nice case like that. Okay, so the last step to being sub 4 is to be efficient with tips. This is kind of hard to explain, so once again, I'm just going to be going through some walkthroughs on when to solve the tips. Okay, so for this solve, I'm going to be doing the green V because it's 3 moves, and how I will finger trick this is I'll do a weird like thumb push like that, and then R prime. So I'll solve the R tip when I do the R prime, and then I'll do a U flick and then a U prime. So I'll solve the U tip while doing a U, and then I'll do L, and then I'm not going to solve this tip yet because the finger tricks would be pretty weird. So I'm just going to do the L, and then I have this L4E, and how I would do this is sledge, not sledge, there we go, sorry, I was looking at it wrong. I would insert this, and then hedge, and then I would solve this tip, and then do the B like that. Okay, so for this, I would do the L, and then double like U prime flick, and then R prime, U, R prime, L prime, just like that, and then I would do a U, and then L4E, and then right here, my finger's in the perfect position for a B. Okay, so for this, I'm going to be doing, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to be doing green for this solve. How I'll do this is I'll do R prime, and then U tip like that, and then U primes, so it goes together, and then I'll do L tip, and then I'll rotate, and then I'm just left with 2 tips, and then this is a pretty decent L4E case, so I'd insert this, and then finish off the L4E, and then solve the last 2 tips, just like that. Okay, so what I would do for this V, is I would do the blue V. I would do L prime, U prime to build this. And then as I was doing the U prime, I do another U prime kind of double flick like this, and then that, and then solve this tip, and then rotate, solve this. And then I have this pretty nice L4E, which I can solve like this. and then solve these two tips with kind of a weird finger trick that I wouldn't recommend doing. I'd probably just recommend regripping and solving them. So for this final tip walkthrough, I'd actually kind of solve all of them in the very beginning. I would do blue V, and I would do R prime or L, and then L tip, and then R prime, W, R prime, rotate, and then that, and then weird thumb finger trick. Right here is what I think the most optimal way to solve tips are, depending on the tip scramble. That might help, I'm not sure. That's how I do it. Okay, so overall, that is how you be sub 4 on pyraminx. I really hope this helped. I will leave links in the description to the optimal L4E algs, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I will see you next time, and bye guys!